This is DD Sports Headquarters in Delhi. You are watching DD Sports Conclave 2017.
And welcome to Federation Sports Conclave 2017. We're celebrating sports in India, and at this moment I feel like running. Why? Because we are here at the majestic Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in the heart of Delhi, and these tracks, everyone, running is something that everybody needs to endorse. Sports unite, sports integrate, sports also give us fitness, physical fitness, mental fitness, and this stadium has seen many a history in the making. I still recall that even during Commonwealth Games, when Krishna Punia, Seema Entel, Harvand Kaur swept the discus throw event and India bagged gold, silver and bronze. These arches, these seats reverberated in joy. Successes, failures, triumphs, aspirations and the realization of dream. The stadium has seen it all, and now India is seeing yet another dream. Prime Minister Modi has given a clarion call, Make New India. As the Union government completes 3 years in office, we congratulate them, but then to realize this dream, sports is an important factor, and that is where sports federations play a pivotal role. Over the course of next 60 minutes, we'll discuss what role do the sports federations play, and I'm joined by representatives of different sports bodies. Please welcome Adille Sumariwalla, President, Athletics Federation of India. Adille, a very warm welcome.
Thank you.
We also have with us Elena Norman. She is the CEO of Hockey India. Welcome, Elena. She's of course an Australian, but her heart beats for Indian hockey. To her left is Colonel Amarbir Singh, a sports administrator. Welcome, Colonel.
Thank you.
And alongside, we'd like to welcome Devraj Chaturvedi ji.
Thank you.
You are the representative from Kabaddi Federation of India. And talking about Kabaddi, this morning when the Honorable Union Minister for Information Broadcasting, Venkaiah Naidu, inaugurated this conclave, he said his favorite sport was Kabaddi. But let me talk about athletics first. Adille, I feel like running. As you see these tracks, do you feel like running too?
Absolutely. But I wish I was 30 years younger. I would have sprinted down the tracks once again.
But then as a sprinter, not only we run to get medal for the country, do you think you would encourage the youngsters watching the program to connect with sports for personal fitness?
Absolutely. I think athletics is a mother sport, and anybody who can run fast, jump further, throw further, I mean, that's the basic to play any sport, and I would encourage every child to do athletics so that, I mean, he may not be an athlete, but he could play different games later on in life. It'll give him a very good base.
That's really nice. So basically the agenda over the course of next 60 minutes will discuss sports. S-P-O-R-T-S. S for success stories. Elena, let me come to you. As a young child, what was your first connect with sports? What's your story?
I remember from a very early age, everything was sport. I grew up with a brother and a father that were obsessed with sport. So we probably watched sport on TV at least 5 nights a week. Every weekend you would go and watch sport. So as we say, it's in our culture, it's in our blood, that even if you're not very good at sport, you will still participate because it's fun and you enjoy with your friends.
So your brother played sports, but did you have more inclination towards the administration part of it?
I was the brains of the family, he was the brawn. So from that point of view, he had success on the field and I was the academic behind the scenes. Yes.
But Colonel Amarbir Singh, as someone who's been a sports administrator for more than 15 years, what's the role of a sports federation?
See, I will say the development of a sport right from the grassroots level, and then take it to the level where we get medals for the country. I think that is a broad role of the federation. And in that role, it encompasses so much that it involves training of the players. You first identify those players, the long-term development plans. There's so much to do.
So the first step you're saying, Colonel, is identification of talent.
Absolutely.
So Elena, is that the first big challenge for Hockey India or any federation for that matter? How do you identify talent?
I don't think we have a challenge in or finding talent, because this country is full of talent. It's finding the right talent. And that's one thing that we're really working on now, because we're starting our new, not just Olympic cycle, but we're starting our new junior men and women World Cup cycle. So the way we're selecting athletes now is for the sport. Someone may not be perfect at the sport, but as we talked about with athletics, if you can get someone who can run fast, you can teach them other skills that they can bring to a sport. So where, for us, it's finding the right talent.
Okay, so there's a lot of talent in this 125 crore country, but then we need to find the right talent. लेकिन अगर हम कबड्डी जैसे खेलों की बात करें, देवराज जी, जब खेलों की बात होती है तो सहज रूप से क्रिकेट की बात होती है. आदिल बैठे हैं तो एथलेटिक्स भी कहेंगे, क्योंकि एथलेटिक्स तो माँ की इवेंट होता है किसी भी ओलंपिक स्पोर्ट में. हॉकी भारत ने 8 स्वर्ण जीते हैं, लेकिन जब से जैसे प्रो कबड्डी लीग आया है तो इंडिजिनस खेल जैसे कबड्डी इतने लोकप्रिय हो गए, तो आप आह्वान करेंगे कि युवा जुड़े कबड्डी से?
देखिए, जब कबड्डी 2014 से पहले और 2014 के बाद अगर हम देखते हैं, प्रो कबड्डी से पहले और प्रो कबड्डी के बाद, तो 2014 से पहले तक भी एशियन गेम्स में कबड्डी एक ऐसा गेम था जो उसने हमेशा स्वर्ण पदक जीता. लेकिन चूंकि विजिबिलिटी नहीं थी तो लोगों को पता ही नहीं था कि ये भी खेल है, और एक परसेप्शन शायद ऐसा हो गया था खेल के बारे में कि ये गांव का खेल है. तो वो जब हमने देखा और जब हमने इस लीग की परिकल्पना की तो सबसे पहले तो उस परसेप्शन को तोड़ना पड़ा, और जैसे ही परसेप्शन टूटा तो आज का युवा, मैं आपको बिल्कुल गर्व से कह सकता हूं कि जिस ग्राउंड पे हमारे पास 20 या 25 बच्चे आते थे और हमें एक समय में इतनी टैलेंट ढूंढना मुश्किल हो रहा था और ये लग रहा था कि हम अपना गोल्ड बचा पाएंगे या नहीं, आज हमारे पास 250 से 300 बच्चे आते हैं. और जो पब्लिक स्कूल्स कबड्डी को टच करने के लिए राजी नहीं थे, आज वो मैट खरीदने के लिए और कोच लगवाने के लिए हमसे रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. तो ये एस्पिरेशन का सवाल है. हमने सिर्फ एक एपेक्स क्रिएट किया जहां पे हमने ये बताया कि ये खेल आपको ये सब कुछ दे सकता है. जैसा कि अभी आईपीएल की बात हो रही थी, बहुत बड़ी विजिबिलिटी है, बहुत बड़ा पैसा है, और पैसा इसमें इतनी बड़ी चीज नहीं है जितनी बड़ी चीज है आपकी सोशल सिक्योरिटी.
पर जैसे सोशल सिक्योरिटी की बात है और विजिबिलिटी की बात की, तो क्या आदिल जी आप कहेंगे फेडरेशन का आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ राइट टैलेंट में दूसरा बड़ा काम विजिबिलिटी का है कि उस खेल को वह प्रचार प्रसार करे?
I think the most important thing is to create a full ecosystem. I don't think we can touch upon one item separately. I think the federation plays a pivotal role, and that is like a conductor in orchestra.
Okay.
We need finances, we need infrastructure, we need coaches, we need physios, we need mental trainers, we need all sorts of things. And I think federation is the one that brings them all together. And then you play an orchestra. So you can have a fantastic violinist and you can have a fantastic pianist, but you can't play in an orchestra.
So does the Athletic Federation of India have the full orchestra?
Well, we have an orchestra. We are trying to conduct it to the best of our ability. We go off tune once in a while, but then I think at some point we'll get together and do what we have to do.
You know, the dream that we have as a nation is, when will we get our first gold in athletics in Olympics? You tell your story first. Young Adil, when was it the first time that you came to tracks like these?
Well, this was the first ever synthetic track in India, and 82 Asian Games was held in which I participated. So till 1982, we really didn't have tracks, synthetic tracks in India. So as late as 1982, and just because of the Asian Games, we got a synthetic track.
Yes.
So we should train on grass and compete on synthetic. It was a very different era. Today we have a lot of tracks in the country. I think there's a lot of infrastructure. I think the government has done a pretty good job of providing that infrastructure. I think the corporate now has to come in to support that whole movement.
पर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, आप स्कूल में थे, कब आपको लगा कि आप तेज भाग सकते हैं? अगर व्यक्ति 11 बार नेशनल चैंपियन रहे 100 मीटर में, ये प्रतिभा आपने कैसे पहचानी?
I think it was just by fluke. I went to a good school. I went to a good school which had very good sporting background. We were inter-school champions in hockey, in football, in athletics for many years, and so I had the inter-school champion there, and we ran together, and I beat him. So suddenly realized I could run fast. So that was it, and then I moved on from there.
So did you come from a family of sports?
Not at all.
So you were the first sportsman in the family?
First sportsman in the family. Family discouraged me. Completely discouraged me.
Tell more. When you went to your father and said, "Papa, मैंने दौड़ लगानी है, मैंने बनना है मिल्खा सिंह."
He was ready to throw me out of the house. He said, "Either you study or you get out of the house."
Then what did you choose?
I bluffed my parents for a while. I told them I was studying and I used to go for training till they found out. And then when they were ready to throw me out, I went to Tata's and got a job there as security just in case he threw me out. I could go to Jamshedpur and Tata's would give me a quarters to stay in. So at least I had a house to stay.
Well, Doordarshan Sports Conclave 2017, and you've got breaking news like these. Elena, there'll be obvious comparison to Australia, because Australia been there. I remember you are at Rod Laver Arena, you'll get to see tennis. Walk 10 steps, you'll get to see somebody doing rugby. When your brother said that he would like to endorse sports, or when you said you want to become a sports administrator, how did your parents respond?
Encouraged.
Did they say like
not at all.
That's the paradox.
If you don't do it, you're strange. If you don't do some sort of sport. So I look at my nieces now. One of my nieces is a pure athlete as well. My other niece, she's not good at running, but she'll be a shot putter. We'll find her a sport she's good at. We'll find her a sport that you enjoy. So you do that. It's just in your culture.
So you've been in India now for a decade.
Yes.
A lot of parents are watching Doordarshan Sports Conclave live on DD Sports. What will you say to the Indian parents?
I think sport, we forget that sport brings a lot more than just winning medals at the end of the day. It gives kids confidence. It obviously gives them friendship. It teaches you how to win. It teaches you how to lose. Giving that sports and fitness lifestyle as well at an early age means they'll continue through from a health point of view. So I think it's not just at the end of the day winning medals, it's also all the other benefits that it brings to kids as well that I think we should encourage.
Absolutely.
For participation.
Absolutely.
Can I add
Yes,
something to
yes, please.
that? The Indian psyche is that, and for reasons which we know, that you have to do well in school, you have to get a 97 on 100 or 103 on 100 after you add the 5 marks of sports, because they want to get into either become a doctor or an engineer. And I believe strongly that all-round development of a human being and personality cannot happen within the 4 walls of a classroom. You have to be out there, you have to do sport, you must do culture, you must do art if you want to develop. And on the field, it's a leveler. You could be playing football or hockey with your driver's kid, who's probably playing far better than you. And you fight with each other, you compete, and it's within rules. So you learn discipline, you learn so much, it develops your personality, and I think that's what will make great leaders of tomorrow. So great Indians and great leaders will come out of people doing more than just sitting and cramming in a classroom.
Absolutely.
I want to add something.
Absolutely, yes. Go ahead, Colonel.
Adille all the time mentions he started from his school.
Yes.
And how many schools, I want to touch a point here. Today, out of 10 million schools, odd schools which we have in our country, there's a research, 50% schools don't have a playground. Now, I was part of the Playground Association of India, which was advisory role. Now, the role was to protect and preserve the play fields.
Yes.
You know what is happening? So the schools are going on making buildings because more children come to the school, they want to adjust those things, and playgrounds are reducing. So this is one focus area, because sporting starts at the school level. Very clearly Olympian brought it out. So we have to focus on that issue.
So when you say you want to focus more so that schools can have grounds, and you're absolutely right, Colonel, that every superstar of tomorrow in sports would actually come out of sports. What is the role of association like National Playfield Association of India, for which you were the honorary advisor? Is it that body's role which comes under the sports ministry? Is it the Federation who will help connect the talent in schools?
See, as far as play fields are concerned, this is more of an issue of the government of India. Federations can't play much role in it. Identification of talent, linking it up with the nationals and sub-nationals, sub-junior nationals, that is one role of the federation, I will agree.
Okay.
But as far as playfield is concerned, to provide the infrastructure, whether it's at the school, at the panchayat, at the district level, that is, I'm
that's
sure
not federation's role.
So
Adille, you would like to partner with whom to create the sports infrastructure?
I think you have to partner with everyone. You know, you need to partner with government, because government gives you infrastructure, government gives you funding. You need to connect internationally to get the best talent of coaches, doctors, physios. You need to connect with schools and colleges. Today, the biggest problem is that our school program, there is no real school program and university program for sport.
Yes.
The weakest link is schools sports and university sports.
And the talent will actually
So
come at school.
that's where the talent is,
will come
and
at
that's
school.
where we are having a problem.
देवराज जी, ये बहुत जरूरी है कि हम टैलेंट को स्कूल लेवल पे पकड़े। 11-12 साल के एथलीट को पकड़ोगे, 7-8 साल की ट्रेनिंग होगी तो ओलंपिक में कुछ चांसेस हैं। यूनिवर्सिटी तक आते आते भी वो 16-17 साल के हो जाएंगे।
That's right. And since I was being following the sports in this country when I was a kid, I couldn't do much in the sports for the reasons which already Adille has spoken. But in the Federation and being in sports administration, I realized that if we have to develop it and identify the talent, we have to go to the masses and to the grassroots level.
We as in the Federation?
As a Federation.
Okay.
As a Federation, and not only as a Federation, because we can't do much of the things ourselves. We took help of Sports Authority of India, and it is just 2 months back, we conducted trials of 18 to 22.
Okay.
Now, we will go a step ahead. We will go to the lower, but this was the starting. You won't believe 10,000 kids, they came for the trials. We selected 300. Out of 300, we further narrowed it down to 131. Out of 131, we made 2 teams. We gave them a wildcard entry to Federation Cup, where our seniors who have been playing Kabaddi for years together, and they are stars. They played, and I am very happy that this program has become so successful. Our one young talent team defeated stalwarts like Railways.
Okay, that's really nice.
So if we do that,
yes.
And now this talent has to be nurtured, groomed, and to be brought to the senior and then to the international level.
Absolutely. So let me recap for the benefit of my viewers. We're trying to understand sports. S is the story, and you heard the story behind the people who are here on the panel. Then P is the passion. Once the player identifies his or her passion for a given sport and the family backs that particular person, what is the role of the Federation from there on?
I think passion extends to the Federation. I work in sport because I like working with passionate people. I like working with driven people. I think we all share the same vision. So in our Federation, from the player to every single administrator in my office, we all share the same passion that we want to bring medals to India in all the matches that we play in.
But then, Elena, let's look at the ground reality. We won 8 gold medals. Everyone today also remembers Dada Dhyan Chand, and his birthday is observed as the National Sports Day on the 29th of August. And who can forget Pritipal Singh? You know, he was known as the king of short corner. If Pritipal Singh was taking a corner, it had to be converted into goal. But then it's been Moscow 1980, more than 3 decades. India's not yet got a medal.
It's also sport. We have to understand that we can all sit here and India as a country, we can plan as much as we can for 2024. We can put everything perfect in place, but it's also sport. At the end of the day, you may not win. I'm quite confident from our men's program from Rio, if we had won 1 game that we lost, it would have been a completely different story. We would have come home with a medal and everyone would have been cheering that the glory days are back.
But you're happy with the way Indian hockey team is progressing?
We're getting there. We're making steps. I think every year, and we as a federation are learning as well. So we're learning what we have to do different every single time, and we're quite confident now that we are making the right progress to get there and to put the players or to put the right system in place to have the best possible chance. At the end of the day, again, it is sport. So they may lose the final match on the day, but at least we've done what we can to make sure that everything is in place to give them the best possible.
Okay, so we've understand the P of sports, which is passion. So if you have the passion for sports, Federation will extend that passion. Let's come to the O of sports, opportunity.
Yeah.
What are the opportunities you find different federations providing to a youngster who would like to make his career in sports?
See, first of all, there's opportunities are there. See, I take the example of the Tennis Federation, which I have worked with for last 15 years. Now, we as Federation have been providing a lot of tournaments. Now, there is a ranking structure based on which the players get selected for the top big tournaments. Now, if you have a good tennis tournament circuit in the country, our tennis players are bound to do well outside. So what is required is a good tournament structure, and that is the opportunity which a federation provide, and they are providing amply.
But if, since you mentioned ITA and you are associated with All India Tennis Association, it was in '96 that in Olympics, Elena Pace got us a bronze. Ages since then, we've not got a medal. The question I want to ask you, Colonel Amarbir, is saying, why has India not been able to produce a singles player in tennis?
Officially, I will not speak about that, but
Yes.
definitely I'll make a point. See, this is a sport which is played by 200 countries, and India is doing well at the Asian level. It is doing well at the world level also. As far as doubles is concerned, we are very close to a medal, and we miss it by a whisker, whether it's mixed doubles or doubles.
Yes.
So we cannot say that we are not there. But again, I'm making a point that what is required at this point of time is, it is not only one person, one federation which is doing it. Adille brought out, it's an orchestra. So I'll name orchestra like this. It's a federation, there's a ministry, there is a SAI, Sports Authority of India, and all the big tournaments, and then of course the sponsors.
Yes.
See, I will give another point. See, why can't we have Navratna companies adopting one sport? Say GAIL India adopts, or Indian Oil Corporation, XY company adopts only tennis as a sport. And then they pump in all the money for development for 8 years.
Right.
Accountability is there, finances is there, everything is there. Now you see a progress how that a boy or a girl under 12 picks up the game and how is she going there. You can have a review every year. And if some kid is injured, you can take him or her out. If you want to add something, you can do that. So I'm just saying, as Navratna company sponsors. So I'm talking again about orchestra.
Yes.
Beautiful word he has used. Orchestra is a ministry, is a Sports Authority of India, the sponsors and Federation.
Okay.
I want to add something to
Yes.
what Colonel said. You know, I've been telling the government this for a long time, that there are over 100 companies whose net profit is over 3,000 crores.
Yes.
If you each one of these companies adopts one sport,
Absolutely.
which is, and puts in about 30 crores into a sport, gives them all the infrastructure. See, today the government is putting in a lot of money, but it's putting money into coaches, programs, training, competition. The federations still are struggling because the government doesn't fund a federation. So we have to raise our own monies to get in a professional CEO or a CFO, or to put a whole office in space. It costs a lot of money.
And
now
that's very important, and that is the R of sports I want to discuss. Revenue, financial viability, very essential. So tell me, Athletics Federation of India, from where do you source your finances?
very difficult. Very difficult. We get from a few sponsors, we get little money. We get a little money on capitation fee, on events and things like that.
That's
road
not
races.
enough. Not enough.
No, absolutely not enough. Today, a good CEO costs a lot of money. I mean, to me, athletics, which is 47 events, which is huge, because 47 events, each event is different. So it's not like a sport which is a team sport, so you will have say 30, 100 athletes
Yes.
or players, and it's one sport.
Right.
Here, every event, say 100 meters is completely different from shot put, which is completely different from javelin. You'll have to bring in that many coaches, all of that, and for that you need a backup infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Which is the federation.
Got the challenge, but since Adille said a good CEO comes costly, for the experience that they bring, what could be the alternative sources of revenue? We cannot rely only on the government. Now, the Prime Minister Modi has launched this Khelo India program. Sports is a state subject. The states also have to come forward. From where we could be innovative in terms of raising finances? Because if you look at the BCCI model, Elena, they've been raising funds. It's a cash-rich body.
They've got a great broadcast deal. If we could all get on that bandwagon,
Exactly.
then I'm sure we would all be very happy as well.
Yeah.
DD Sports, you know what I mean? I'm looking.
Doesn't hockey
Yeah.
sell? We've done so well.
It probably doesn't sell as well as what you think it would. Kabaddi's doing great at the moment, and I think all other sports do struggle in this
How to
country.
create that visibility?
We've got to win a medal. I think that's
Absolutely.
probably the only way.
Yeah.
I think
Win a
that's-
medal might change
That's a
things.
very important point, because
But
if you look at the
I like
cricketing
to add
model,
one-
if you look at the
I
cricketing
like to add
model,
one point
I'll
here.
come to you.
Yeah,
If you look at the cricketing model, 83 is when we won the World Cup,
Yes.
Devraj, and after that 87, India hosted the World Cup. Do you mention about visibility? That's such a critical word, and in sports, T is for TV. You may have thought teamwork, that's also essential, orchestra, but जो आप राइट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, ब्रॉडकास्टिंग डील की बात कर रहे हैं, इसको हम कैसे जोड़ें खेलों से?
ये ब्रॉडकास्टर अगर जोड़ना है तो उसको सबसे पहले उस पर एडवर्टाइजमेंट मिलना चाहिए. His revenue model should be that he is also earning something. At the end of the day, it's a commercial world. Nobody will spend money if he is not earning. And for that, I learned a couple of things from cricket only. I'm telling it on
Yes,
camera that the changes which they brought into the game, and when we were planning the league, we also brought in the changes. Now the question is, we got the opportunity, TV is showing us, now the sponsors are coming to us. At this time, even for our national championship, for which we were not getting a penny, even if I get some money, I will take it, I will give them the sponsorship, which will further widen the brace.
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट है यहाँ पे जो देवराज जी ने कहा है. आप देखिए, एशियन गेम्स के स्तर पे भारत कबड्डी पे स्वर्ण पदक लेता आया है, लेकिन जब से प्रो कबड्डी लीग आई और आपको पता लगा अब रेडर आएगा 30 सेकंड में क्या होगा और फिर कैसे डिफेंस होगा, कैसे आप एंकल होल्ड करेंगे, वही चीज हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते? अगर
ये 30 सेकंड वाला रूल 2014 के एशियन गेम से पहले तक नहीं था, इसको सिर्फ गेम को फास्ट करने के लिए किया गया, अदरवाइज कोई नहीं देखेगा।
Should we alter some rules to create visibility on television? Can we do that? Are we innovative enough to be flexible with the rules?
I don't know if we can alter rules per se in a game, because we are ruled by the International Athletics Federation. Rules we may not be able, we cannot change. I mean, we may not be able to. We could try and bring some element of entertainment in it. That is possible, because sport and entertainment go hand in hand. Without entertainment, there is no sport. I think cricket learned it very fast and did 2020 and made it a shorter format. Had these little cheer girls dancing over the place. So also see, one keeps talking cricket, but understand that cricket, the really playing countries are not more than 12 or 13. We're talking about sport where 200 countries take part, and therefore, I mean, I'm not trying to belittle cricket. I think it's a great game. I love to watch it, and but having said that, there are 200 countries which would do athletics, and for a game like athletics, there are no barriers. You can run bare feet if you have to.
Yes.
So it's not like shooting or badminton or whatever, where you need a court, you need a racket, you need a gun, you need ammunition. So therefore, I don't think these are fair comparisons. Having said that, I think the corporate sector must come in. The government is doing a fantastic job. The corporate sector must equally provide to sport.
But tell me a bit more, because Adille Sumariwalla is also a successful corporate entrepreneur, and you understand the corporate dynamics better than most. Most of the federations are registered as a society, and to the best of my knowledge, a society cannot earn profit. Like, the profit is not the main motive, but profit is not a bad word. Profiteering may be. How do we make a business case to sports?
No, I think what we talked about first is television. You get television, you get sport.
Okay.
Today today, since cricket takes away such a large chunk of the television, that they're saying, okay, we are happy with it. There are customers and clients who are saying that we are happy with our products being on television. In cricket, the rates are so high there, we've already spent a lot of our budgets. I think it will first have to start with the corporate social responsibility budgets, okay, or 20 I mean, if you really look at 20 Olympic sport and say that each of these corporates will take up this sport till 2024 and provide the best CEO. Today the sort of salaries I'm paying, I mean, is so meager that I can't get talent.
I think that's a very important point that Adille has made, that if you look at the corporate social responsibility, CSR, that was made mandatory by Companies Act 2013, one of the things that you could really donate or contribute to is sports. But talking about the change in rules, Elena, you had this favorite film, Chak De India, with Shah Rukh Khan saying you've got 70 minutes. Now it's not 70. So we've got 15 minutes or 4 halves. Any further changes, track changes that can make hockey more television friendly?
Well, technically the rules of hockey haven't changed. It's still a 70-minute game.
Okay.
The regulations for international tournaments are now 15. So even in India, for most of our tournaments, we still play the rules of hockey, which is 70 minutes. And I think the International Federation, everyone identifies that you need to bring changes to the sport, or changes in the regulation that make it more spectator friendly, both on TV and in the stadium. So hockey, I know this is something that FIH is working through. They're launching their new league in 2019, which is all about spectator experience and very much about having home matches, because that's where people will come. No one wants to see an empty stadium.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the sea changes that's happening in International Federation, is having home matches now, so that we have the spectator crowd there.
Okay. But Colonel Amarbir, in the last decade, another paradigm shift that Indian sports has seen is Hockey League, Kabaddi League, similarly wrestling, boxing league. Do you think the advent of these leagues have helped the Indian sporting objective?
Surely. See, if you just take the example, I mean, I'll say Big Brother Cricket.
Yes.
They put us on the way, and they did it rightly. And Kabaddi has taken it off. Hockey India has done it well. I don't know. Adil brought up a very good point that 200 nations playing a sport, any sport which is played by 200 nations, there is a problem there. Because the international federations, I'm not speaking on behalf of AITA, but surely this is a thought process that 200 nations play a game, those rules cannot be tweaked by a single nation. So that is a issue which needs to be looked into by athletics, by tennis. We did try, Mahesh Bhupati did try a Premier League, but in the Asian level, but little success. It was good success.
Should we have an athletics league, India?
Why not? But I don't know how that is.
Why Adille has not done it? Yes.
Simply because anything that we do, we ask two questions. The first question is it good for our athletes?
Yes.
The second question is it good for the federation and sport in general?
And the answer to both is yes.
The answer to that was no. The first answer was no, because we have a very short season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Athletics season is very short. It starts sometime in May, June. It ends by August, September. Now, within that season, there are diamond leagues, there are world championships, there are Asian championships, there are Commonwealth championships. There are so many things that happen.
But Devraj ji.
So let me finish.
Yes.
So therefore, my athletes have a program. If you have to have a league, you will have to invite these foreign athletes to come. They are already set up within their diamond league and other league structure. So you can't get them. If you can't get them, then I have to shift my dates. If I have to shift my dates, I move into pre-season. My athletes are not ready for the competition. Should I run my athletes who are unprepared? So there were a lot of questions. That is why we were planning. We had very good people, including people who did pro Kabaddi, came to us and said, we will do a league for you, we will bring Usain Bolt down, all of that. But we said, no, wait, we'll get the structure right for our athletes.
पर देवराज जी, क्योंकि आप उसका स्ट्रक्चर बना लिया आपने कि कहाँ पहले प्रो कबड्डी लीग साल में एक बार होती थी और अब साल में 2 बार करने का प्रस्ताव भी है, क्या वही सक्सेसफुल मॉडल अन्य खेलों में, एथलेटिक्स में अपनाया जा सकता है?
No. हर खेल, every game is a different game. Athletics is more or less an individual game, right? There is hardly any team game. Cricket is a team game. Hockey is a team game. Kabaddi is a team game. And I definitely agree with Adille that yes, there are problems of seasons. But at the very same time, when we were doing it, we were also facing this problem of seasons. But we tried and we found out a way by which we could inculcate it. Now, from moving onwards from here, we will also find it difficult if we have to do even one more event. And if we have to see, we did last time World Cup. It became so back to back that Federation knows, I know personally also, my president knows that how we were running around from pillar to post and we all were exhausted after the final match was played. So we all have to look into it. Every game has its priorities and time frames we can best suit. We cannot optimize it. We can best suit. We have international events. If now my league was going on and South Asian games come, now the question comes, league first or nation first? And my franchisee said, sir, we have paid for the money. I said, you might have paid for the money, but you have not purchased the player. The player is under contract because we have provided you the player. The nation comes first. And the players were flown. I said, whether you pay or not, it's up to you. If you don't want to pay, don't pay. Federation will take that cost.
Absolutely.
But fortunately they paid. But
they
were being flown a day before to South Asian Games, and after the game was over, they were being brought back to the, and for that matter, if some franchisee has lost, it's a nation is bigger than the franchise.
I think that's a very good point. So one point that I could really recap is that the different leagues that we have seen in various sports in India has certainly helped take sports forward in India. But if the player were to face a dilemma between choosing a league or the nation has to come first. Lionel Messi has done so well for Barcelona, but I think he's always missed some decorations for Argentina, Colonel. He's not performed that much for his nation though. But you tell me, when we're looking at different federations, what is the accountability of a federation? What are they accountable for?
See, I talked about this earlier also. There is a long-term development plan which is made by a federation.
Is it Olympic to Olympic?
These are Olympic to Olympic cycle. But what what could be done was that this document right now is being done religiously, made every year, and then updated every year, and all the stakeholders, like I mentioned, the federations, the government, the Sports Authority of India, they all get involved. But what I could feel was that certain events and certain sports which are lacking in standard, to my mind, they should have an 8-year plan. They don't need to be, representing India. I mean, they should not even. We are so low in those certain disciplines. Sorry to say so. that we should not even think about 2020 Olympics.
Oh, that's very revolutionary. So you're saying India could well consider skipping one Olympics to prepare better for the next one?
Some sports, some sports discipline where we think we just cannot, because see, our resources are very thin. And if we spread them far too wide on a broad frontage, we give athletics, we give swimming, we give rifle, everybody we give, then this is going to thin out. So nothing is going to come out.
So what are the top 5 sports you feel we should really focus on?
To my mind, of course, athletics can't be ruled out in any case.
Okay.
And then we have hockey. Can't rule out. I now feel shooting, archery, wrestling, boxing. I mean, I can't say 5. It should be 7 or 8, maybe 10 right now, because we are doing well on those sports.
And Kabaddi so far is not an Olympic sport.
Yeah, it's not an Olympic
but
sport.
Are you making a movement? So that
yeah, we are making a move. Yeah. We are making a move now. At least we have made our presence felt in Africa, and Indian Federation as well as International Federation, they both are working towards it. We have our presence in Europe. We have presence in our Americanas. We are little weak in Oceania. Australia team came last time. They have started playing. And Asia, of course, is the hub of it.
Yes.
And maybe we will stake for it sometimes later. I don't want to predict anything.
Okay, let's talk about hockey now. Elena, December 2016 Junior World Cup was won by India after a gap of 15 years.
Yes.
So, how do you see 2020 Tokyo? Do you think India versus Australia in the finals?
No, maybe India, Belgium, maybe India, Argentina. We'll beat Australia in the semi-finals and we'll make it to the final.
Okay, but then how's the road ahead? Any youngster who you feel has to be groomed and Hockey India, do you require any support from Government of India? What partnership do you want for broadcasters like DD Sports, which is the largest service public broadcaster?
I think the support we get currently from Ministry and SAI is superb. They're fantastic. Pretty much whatever we ask for, we can get, because it's all within limitations. We've already identified the young players that we're moving towards 2020. And then, as I mentioned before, we've also got our junior program in place. We're introducing, hopefully this year, a development program which will help support and have more athletes moving into that senior level. In terms of DD Sports, athlete profiling. I think it's really important to profile the athletes continuously. We want to build heroes. This is what we're all working towards. I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about the athletes. I want people to know the athletes' names.
Yes.
So I think it's really important that the broadcasters support athletes through profiling.
Okay.
And our domestic tournaments. We have our national championships annually in 3 categories, and across men and women as well. We're an equal sport. We represent men and women.
Okay, that's really nice. So what kind of support do you require from DD Sports? Come July, we'll have Oli, the mascot, asking everyone to jump, jog and run.
Okay, so let me tell you, we have a great relationship with DD Sport for many years now. DD Sports is one of those people who've covered every event of ours for the last probably 7-8 years. They give us a small fee to cover the sport, etc. I think what we need to do is DD Sports needs to improve the quality of its coverage. It needs to improve the quality of its commentary. It needs to profile athletes and make them champions. To me, DD is for public service, and I think somewhere it gets stuck between being a public service provider and a commercial entity, and I think when they get caught in that trap, then I think they go haywire for a while. But I think DD's done a great job to take athletics to the masses, and I've been having chats with DD, and I think we're going to resolve those issues.
Let's also get Colonel, your views on Khelo India program.
Yeah.
This comprehensive program that talks about connecting with masses, building sports infrastructure that you mentioned. What do you make of Khelo India?
Absolutely excellent program. See, this is how our country, when we talk about sporting culture being introduced into the last person, be it whatever strata of economy strata a person belongs to, gets into that mode where he understands what is sport. And if he understands that, you have a healthy India. That is number one.
Yes.
And number two is you get a mass base from where you can pick up the talent.
Yes.
And once there comes the role of the federations, where we immediately catch on the children who are doing well, the coaches immediately profile them and they pick up their names, recommend it to the federations, they take part in the national championships. So it's a beautiful way to talent identification and moving on to the national level.
What about the Mission 11 Million, where in football, India is looking to connect with about 15,000 schools? It's a mass school contact program.
See, again, Adille school, it starts from schools. I mean, you come back to S schools. So,
yes.
And there's such a mass base, obedient children,
yes.
you want them to play, they will like to play.
Yes.
Don't curb them. I mean, that is what we have to do and inculcate into our curriculum in a way where sports gets the weightage which they has not been given. I want to touch this point. Sports has never been got weightage. I mean, I'm sure it is not even happening too much at scale.
Let's do a quick poll with all four of you. Elena, should we have marks for sports in school?
Absolutely.
100 marks paper?
I think it's all about participation, getting involved, and being a good loser, good winner, all of that stuff. And I think you need to build it into your.
Okay. Adille, marks for sports.
Absolutely. I've been fighting this campaign for a very long time.
What's the response from the school side?
No, it's not school, it's government. The state governments. Yeah. For example, in my state, they were giving marks and they took it back. Why? Because there was some corruption in that. But you fix the corruption, you don't stop giving marks because there is corruption.
That's a very important point.
So you fix the corruption, not and on this Khelo India program.
Yes.
And what Colonel said, absolutely right. The schools. The problem is the schools, and this would help with that. But we found a way to sidetrack that. And what we did in athletics was, we're doing pretty well for the last many years, is we do an all India inter-district junior sub-junior program, under 14, under 16, where thousands of children from districts, so 300-400 districts, come to a place, run events, and that is where we do our talent search. And the Athletics Federation pays for their transport, food and accommodation. It's a huge expense, but we find sponsors to do it. So we found a unique way to try, and because the schools are not doing it, let's go to the districts and do it through the districts.
I think we had one session in DD Sports Conclave with the state sports minister. So we'll request Chetan Chauhanji, who was with us, the UP sports minister, Yashodhara Rajesh Scindia, the sports minister with Madhya Pradesh, was with us in our studios, and the other state sports ministers, that please take this suggestion from the eminent panel here. If you could really have marks for sports at the school stage, that perhaps will help integrate sports into the curriculum. That's the vision of the Prime Minister as well. लेकिन ये बताइए देवराज जी, जैसे कबड्डी इतना लोकप्रिय हो गया, आगे अगर देखें अब फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग, कौन सा ऐसा खेल है, चाहे इंडिजिनस खेल हो या लोकप्रिय खेल हो, आने वाले समय में जो कि सुर्खियां बन सकता है?
See, if you are asking my individual opinion, hockey is already there. And I still remember the World Cup which we won, and I still get the goose pimples. I was
75.
a child.
So it's been long.
Yeah.
There was no TV, heard it on radio.
No TV.
When will it happen next? When will India win World Cup next in hockey?
2018.
2018? Okay.
Next. This time the way hockey is doing, I feel, again we are going on a right path. And as far as other things are concerned, and you were asking about
कौन सा खेल और लोकप्रिय बन सकता है?
Which game will go forward और कौन इतना लोकप्रिय हो सकता है? मेरे ख्याल से एक और खेल है जो कि हर गांव में खेला जाता है और मैंने हर वक्त देखा है उसको खेलते हुए. And be it an office background or be it a backyard of a government office or a private office, that's volleyball.
Volleyball.
Yeah. That's again a game which has, that's my personal opinion, that can become potential, crowd attractor. So that's absolutely.
और अगर फुटबॉल की बात करें, कर्नल अमरबीर, 1962 जाकार्ता एशियन गेम्स में भारत ने गोल्ड मेडल जीता था. उस समय एशिया का किंग माना जाता था. अब हम 100 पे हैं और भले आज युवा जानते हो कि ईपीएल इस बार चेल्सी ने जीती है, पिछली बार लेस्टर ने जीती है, पर शायद ना जानते हो कि इस बार आई लीग आइजवाल ने जीती है.
See, a very big issue is that the Football Federation is doing a lot. That has to be acknowledged by all of us. It is in the papers, they have got World Cup under 17.
Yes.
Now that is the biggest event sports extravaganza going to happen after the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
I think. And that is going to happen this year. Now then 11 million contact with the children and schools, everybody playing football. So I think they are doing the best. Rankings are following, but it's like you have to spot the talent, nurture it. There are a lot of clubs, there are contradictions, we all know, ISL, I-League. So these contradictions have to be resolved at some stage, and talent has to be come there. And money has to be flown to the last man, where the top physios, top trainers, top coaches, and they don't come cheap. Like he said, CEOs don't come out cheap. So, and it's all money. So if you spend money, you will get the result.
और हमें टाइम बाउंड डिलीवरेबल भी चाहिए। 2015 देश के सामने एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल आया कि कटप्पा ने बाहुबली को क्यों मारा, लेकिन 2017 आते आते उस सवाल का जवाब हमें मिल गया। लेकिन अभी तक इस बात का जवाब नहीं मिला कर्नल कि ISL और आई लीग कब एक होंगे।
चलो, ये मेरे को लगता है कि फुटबॉल फेडरेशन का एक मुद्दा है, जो कि वो आई एम श्योर दे
स्पोर्ट्स लवर होने के नाते आपके मन की इच्छा क्या है?
देखिए, इच्छा ये है कि सबसे अच्छा फुटबॉल, आपने बताया मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड जब मैच जीतता है तो, या ये सब आर्सेनल जीतती है, तो हमारे यहाँ पे सबको मालूम है कि कौन सा टाइटल कौन जीता है, लेकिन अपना ISL का कौन जीता ये हमें मालूम नहीं। So अभी how we have, this is our, I mean,
but Adille, what explains that 200 nations?
Should I add to this here a psychological or maybe a perspective which we face? I was talking to somebody I'll not like to name, but was a broadcaster, and when we were introducing them to the game of kabaddi, they said ये तो देसी गेम है, ये तो हमारा देश का ही खेल है ना। मैंने तो, आप क्या न्यूयॉर्क में बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं? आप भी तो देश की राजधानी में बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं। ये थोड़ा सा जो परसेप्शन है ना हमारा, ये चेंज करना
अब बदला है, क्योंकि बहुत लंबे समय से हमने कहावत सुनी है कि पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे होगे खराब। क्या बदलते समय के साथ ये कहावत अब बदल गई है?
नहीं, पूरी तो नहीं बदली। आप, मैं ग्राउंड लेवल की बात करता हूं और मैंने ये चीज फेस की है, एंड आई कैन वाउच फॉर इट। इफ वी हैव टू कंडक्ट अ सब जूनियर इवेंट, वी हैव टू exclude the dates of examinations. We have to exclude a month before. Correct. Immediately after the examinations, we can do this.
तो फेडरेशन और स्कूल साथ एक टेबल पे मिलकर कर सकते हैं?
कर सकते,
क्योंकि सरकार से हर चीज अपेक्षा
नहीं, सरकार से अपेक्षा नहीं है, बट कुछ चीजें ऐसी भी हो सकती है ना कि अगर मान लीजिए एक नेशनल लेवल की चैंपियनशिप हो रही है और उसमें 15 बच्चे एग्जाम नहीं दे पाए, तो उनके लिए एक सप्लीमेंट्री के साथ ले लीजिए उनका एग्जाम और उसको ट्रीट कर लीजिए।
याद आ रहा है उन्मुख चंद जब खेल रहे थे क्रिकेट और भारत के लिए भी, तो उनको अटेंडेंस शॉर्टेज पड़ गई थी कॉलेज में। तो अब अगर आज का युवक करियर बनाना चाहे,
हम सबको पड़ी थी,
आपको पड़ी थी
शॉर्टेज तो, हम कैंप में रहते तो शॉर्टेज पड़ी थी।
But now your parents who threatened you at one point of time that leave house, are they proud of Adille Sumar?
Absolutely, of course they're proud of me today, but it took a long time for them to even accept the fact, because they thought that if I did sports I would starve on the streets. But I think a sportsman is a very, very bright human being. For example, he's playing hockey or football, he is anticipating 4 moves in advance, he's anticipating the moves that are going to come to him, he's anticipating the move that he is going to forward. So I think his brain works very well. They say कि ये तो duffer है, but just because he cannot cram and he cannot memorize things doesn't mean he's a duffer. I think he's very, very sharp in his head,
yes.
And I think an athlete is sharper than anybody else, and I've proved it. I have continued my education. I topped my B school. I was a gold medalist. I topped my B school. I'm a successful businessman, and I do so many things. So I think it's all because of my sport. I am where I am because of my sport.
Sounds a very nice screenplay for a biopic.
I'll just tell you one thing: a sportsman versus a non-sportsman, and being associated with sports, I can say 2 things which a sportsman will have, and majority of sportsmen they have, is honesty, and they learn and they very well accept the defeat, which in general life it doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
And probably that is the key to success for a successful human being, for a successful businessman, for a successful, even to be a successful father. If you are wrong, accept it, and if you defeat, accept it. Be honest, and this you can find only in sports. I can say it with pride.
Absolutely, I think sports has got a lot of benefit. It bakes our personality, you learn team spirit, camaraderie, how to handle success, failure, the feeling of being equanimous, as you said, Elena. But let me also bring in gender equality aspect to it. We are expecting men's hockey team to win gold for us in 2018 World Cup, as you said, after 1975. Men's Kabaddi team is doing well. But the last year, we've seen the likes of PV Sindhu and Sakshi Malik got us the 2 medals at Rio. How's the women's hockey team doing? How do you see women power in India in sports?
Our women's team is getting better. Obviously, yes, there is a little bit of slight difference. I think that's also expectations from the country. Our women's team qualified for the Olympic Games last year, which was the first time they've ever qualified. So they'd participated once before, but that was on invitation basis. I think if you speak to our women's athletes now, they probably feel more empowered than they have before. For the last 4 years we've had foreign coaches with them. So we treat them equally. SAI treats them equally as well. So we give them the best coaches that we can. We give them the best support staff. We give them the best programs here. In terms of facilities as well, we give them the best. I think now we just need to give them time to get to where they need to get to.
Since you mentioned foreign coaches, that's
Yes.
also a very sensitive topic. The other day I was hearing that the Indian women boxers have got a foreign coach for the first time from France and Italy.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a debate? A foreign coach versus an Indian coach, or is it merit?
I think let the best person
Correct.
have the job.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they're from.
Yes, absolutely
The
right.
best person has the job.
It's you know, I think we are making this into an issue of a foreign coach versus an Indian. It's not an issue.
It's not even a
We
question.
we are looking at who is the best available coach today for our athletes, and that's what the Federation wants, to give the best to the athlete. Now, if he's a foreign coach, so be it.
I think, I'm reminded of an example when in 2011 under Mahendra Singh Dhoni, we won the World Cup for the second time. It was Gary Kirsten of South Africa who was our coach. But is that the role of the Federation, to ensure that India has quality coaches?
Absolutely, absolutely, because we are in the field, we are connected to the international body, we know the top coaches, and we should try and bring the best coaches to India.
There's no vacancies, there's no dearth. Do you have enough coaches in athletics?
See, we used to have problems because there were financial problems when we said we can't pay over so much money. Again, so you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. It's a very simple thing. Now, today the government has opened its purse strings and said, what do you want? If this is what you want, take it, but what is the performance you're going to give me? I'm telling you, government has gone beyond its call of duty today. The Sports Authority of India, the Department of Sports, has gone far beyond its call of duty to give us whatever we want.
Would you compliment the Sports Minister Vijay Goyal? Would you like to say something to the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley when he
I would
the
say
union cabinet?
everybody from the Prime Minister downwards, because unless direction comes from there, nothing will happen. So from Prime Minister downwards, everybody right from there to the Finance Minister, to the Sports Minister, to the Secretary Sports, to the Director General of Sports, to the whole of Sports Authority of India and its officers. So I think again it's a team. If one of them is out of line, again things won't work. And I think that's what I keep on saying. The corporate sector has failed sport. The government has done enough and more, and you really can't expect more from the government. He talked about the long-term development program.
Yes.
In the past, we've given hundreds of long-term development programs, but they've sat on it for 2 years, 3 years. It's a 4-year program. They've not acted on it for 3 years. And then they said, oh, but where is your program? Oh, that program.
So they, as in you're saying?
The Sports Authority of Indian government in the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, it's literally we have a meeting every 15 days and say, what are the requirements? What do you need? If this is what you want, why haven't you done this? Plus, they are pushing the Federation to say, we want monitoring reports. If we've given you a coach, what is he doing? Are you utilizing him fully?
You welcome that step?
Absolutely. See, I run a professional company.
Yes.
The more professional you get, the better it is.
But it's an important point that Adille mentions, that you need to have this MIS so that you can really have information system reports. And one of the other initiatives Prime Minister Modi did was that right after Olympics Rio 2016, Prime Minister instructed to have an Olympic task force. It's an 8-member committee, consists of 3 players in Virendra Skeena, former Hockey India captain. You've got the gold medalist at Beijing 2008 Olympics, Abhinav Bindra, and then champion shuttler Gopi Chand, and then the other administrators as well. Has the Olympic task force met with the federations as well?
Absolutely.
So what was the kind of discussion and what practical inputs you gave to them?
No, we discussed all topics, right from talent to coaching to support. I think support staff is as important as a coach. Because if the support staff after a game or after the heats to run the semi-final can't bring the athlete back to the track, or if you finished one game and you have another game in 2 days, and if the support staff can't bring the athletes back to peak perform, then people, we don't even think about, oh, you ask for a masseur in the old days, oh, malish wale ko le lo. So if you ask for a physio, hanji yaar, wo malish wala hai, isko le lo. That was the thought process once upon a time. But today it's not. And people forget, before London Olympics, UK sport spent $2 billion to get their support staff ready, which was doctors, coaches, physios, managers. $2 billion. It's on their website.
Okay.
To prepare the support staff.
So that means, since you are saying public sector undertakings, you mentioned Colonel, you were saying corporates, government of course is also giving some money.
The government is giving a lot of money.
Are you saying from the business case perspective, because financial viability is very essential, no charity happens unless you really make a business case out of it. Do you think sports as an industry will blossom? And any person who makes an investment today, even via CSR, sponsorship, there will be return on investment?
There will be return on investment, there's no doubt about it. I'm a businessman, I can see that. The sports industry is billions of dollar industry. You look at what is happening in the country today. Today, even athletes have the opportunities to go and work for federations or leagues or sports management companies. Nothing of that existed in our time. Today it's all open to them and there are great opportunities for them.
और ये सोशल इकोनॉमिक रिटर्न है कि इकोनॉमिक रिटर्न तो आएगा लेकिन समाज की सेहत भी तो बढ़ेगी ना.
Obviously, and what I am presuming is the way now the things have started, and as Adille was saying it and I also felt it, when we did this program of junior talent search, there is a general perception कि government से आपको जवाब नहीं मिलता, ये नहीं होता. I got a sanction within 3 days from Sports Authority of India. So now that's a great eye opener for everybody that the sports is going on a right path. Government is playing its own role. Federations have to play its own role. Private sector has also come. And ultimately what will happen? Our social structure will be bettered.
Right. So of course, even as we are coming to the concluding part of our conversation, let's get some innovative ideas in the last 60 seconds, beginning with you, Colonel. Innovative solution that we need to follow in 2017.
See, to my mind, if every state, I mentioned about a Navratna company picking up a sport and get accountability.
Okay.
I say state should pick up a state, like Jharkhand picks up a sport, Punjab picks up a sport, Haryana picks up a sport. The sports ministry of that state under Prime Minister Modi, under a task force, all these states take up one sport, spend 30 crores like he mentioned.
Absolutely.
And we can
I think
get results.
For example, since we talk about Jharkhand, they could pick hockey, you've got all these Lakras and Dhanraj Pillais and the archers who've come from there. Innovative solution.
I think one of the most important things is bringing back what we talked about with sports fields. Having dedicated dedicated space where people can just go and kick a ball or run around and just have fun and enjoy sports and try and pick it up.
10 seconds, solution.
Ensure that every school who is producing kids has a play field.
Right.
Minimum.
Have a play field. Final solution.
Make sports a way of life.
Make sports the way of your life. That's the essence with this panel discussion, and sports federations are certainly committing themselves to the cause of Make New India and factoring in sports there as well. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining us and for your innovative thoughts.